Welcome to everyone. Myself, R. Venkatesh Kumar Mangalam from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, working in Department of Chemistry. In today's lecture, we will be discussing about the isomerism in coordination compounds. The coordination compounds which have the same molecular formula but have their ligands attached to the metal ion in different ways are called isomers, and the phenomena that give rise to different isomer is called isomerism. So you can have isomers, okay, that can generate by two or more different compounds having same molecular formula, okay, and having different bond connectivity. That is one type. Or you can have isomers, okay, in which you have the molecular formula same and bond connectivity is also same, but how they are arranged, how the ligands are arranged around the metal ion in a three-dimensional space will be differ, which can give rise to different isomers. So you have two different ways. One is like having same molecular formula but bond connectivity is different. Another way it can create is through having same molecular formula, same bond connectivity, but how the ligands are arranged in a three-dimensional space around a metal ion. In our previous lecture, we have seen about coordination compounds. The common geometries of coordination compounds, okay, and the common coordination numbers that can exist in coordination compounds are 4 and as well the coordination number 6. With coordination number 4, the geometry that typically seen either tetrahedral or square planar. Okay, so here is a tetrahedral geometry and a square planar geometry. Okay, and with the coordination number 6, the common geometry that exists is the octahedral. Before moving in further into the isomerism in coordination compounds, let me tell certain terms which we have already seen, but let me recall it. Okay, we will be using terms like inner sphere complex and outer sphere complex. Okay, we call it inner sphere complex or outer sphere complex. Inner sphere complex, okay, the ligands are attached directly to the central metal ion. Okay, so if you say this example, okay, the 6 ammonia is directly attached to the cobalt. So this is called the inner sphere. And the outer sphere complex, okay, where you have cation and anion associated in solution. So that is this anion chloride here and this cation, this complex, okay, forms the outer sphere complex. In coordination compounds, we basically have two types of isomerism. One is structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. In today's lecture, under structural isomerism, we will be discussing about ionization isomerism, hydrate isomerism, linkage isomerism, coordination isomerism, and under stereoisomerism, we will be seeing about geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Under structural isomer, let us see first about the ionization isomerism. Ionization isomers are the compounds that have the same molecular formula but give different ions in the solution, meaning that let's say I have two coordination compounds and whose molecular formula is same. When I dissolve them in a solvent, it will give different ions. It means that the anion present in the complex seems to be different. So example, let's see these two coordination compounds, okay, a cobalt based coordination compound. Here have a cobalt coordinated with 5 ammonia and 1 bromide, and the sulfate is present in the outer sphere. Here in the inner sphere the cobalt is coordinated with 5 ammonia similar to this one, and if you see here there is a sulfide that is getting coordinated with the cobalt, whereas it is the bromine here, and in this case the bromine is in the outer sphere. Okay, so these two molecular formula is same, but the anion present in the outer sphere and the ligand that present in the inner sphere has a difference, and when I dissolve them in a solvent it gives different ions. Okay, so that can be explained further. Let's say if I have a cobalt which has a coordination with ammonia and bromide, okay, and the sulfide which is present in the outer sphere. If I dissolve them, okay, it will form a cation and a anion. The anion is basically the SO4 minus. So when I add a barium chloride to that solution, it forms a barium sulfide, which is a white precipitate that form. Will not happen if I have this complex where I have a bromine in the outer sphere. Similarly, if I take this complex, I have the bromide in the outer sphere, which I can confirm by reacting with silver nitrate, which can give rise to yellow precipitate of silver bromide. Okay, this will not happen in case of the complex which has a sulfide in the outer sphere. Further examples are shown here. Second type in structural isomerism, that is hydride isomerism. This isomerism arises due to different positions of water molecule in the complex. Let's take an example. The coordination compounds having a molecular formula CrCl3 6H2O. So if I see the different coordination compounds that can be formed with this molecular formula, you can see 3 different isomers. Example, you can have a chromium complex, okay, in which the chromium is coordinated to 6 water molecule in the inner sphere and 3 chloride in the outer sphere. This will be violet in color. When I dissolve this compound in a solvent, it gives 4 ions, and its equivalent conductance is around 4 to 5. The presence of 3 chloride can be confirmed by a precipitation reaction, and the absence of water in the outer sphere can be confirmed by observing no loss of water in a desiccator over concentrated sulfuric acid. Similarly, I can have a coordination compound where the chromium is coordinated to a 5 water molecules and 1 chloride in the inner sphere, and in the outer sphere it can have 2 chloride and 1 water molecule. This will be blue green in color, having 3 ions when I dissolve it in a solvent, and its equivalent conductance is around 250. Again, we can confirm the presence of 2 chloride by a precipitation reaction, and presence of water molecule by observing one water loss over concentrated sulfuric acid. The third, the chromium having 4 water molecules and 2 chloride in the inner sphere and 1 chloride and 2 water molecule in the outer sphere. It will be dark green in color, and when I dissolve them in a solvent, it will have 2 ions, and its equivalent conductance is around 130. Again, we can find the presence of 1 chloride by a precipitation reaction and 2 water molecules by observing 2 water molecule lost over concentrated sulfuric acid. And also you can see that the equivalent conductance, okay, decreasing with the number of ions, okay, formed in the solution. Okay, that is here 4, 3, 2. Similarly, the equivalent conductance seems to be decreasing accordingly. So if we see these 3 types of isomer having same molecular formula, but the position of water molecule in the complex is different, and hence we name it as hydrate isomerism. The third type in structural isomerism, linkage isomerism. This arises when the ligand can coordinate either of 2 different donor atoms, the ligand which we call it as ambidentate ligands. Example, NO2 minus ion. This ligand can coordinate with the central ion through oxygen atom or through nitrogen atom. Shown here are 2 examples. Okay. In this cobalt complex, the coordination is happening through an oxygen atom of the NO2 minus ion, and here the coordination happens through the nitrogen. Similar linkage isomerism exists in coordination hormones having ligands such as thiocyanate and thiosulfate. The fourth type in structural isomerism, that is coordination isomerism. This can occur only with salts in which both cation and anion parts are complexes. Okay, to recall it, in this exists, okay, in salts which has both cation and anion parts are complexes, and the ligands have a different distribution between the 2 central metal atoms, that is the exchange of ligands between the 2 coordination spheres. Example, the example having same central atom, that is a chromium based complex. If we see here, both cation and anion are complexes. In one complex, okay, that is in cation, we see here the chromium is coordinated with 6 ammonia, and in the anion part the chromium is coordinated with 6 thiocyanate. And if you take this example, okay, in which the chromium is coordinated to 4 ammonia and 2 thiocyanate, and in the anion part the chromium is coordinated to 2 ammonia and 4 thiocyanate. We see the molecular formula for these 2 complexes are same, okay. However, they have different distribution of ligands between the 2 central metal atoms. Another example where we will have a different central atom. So, for example, shown here is a complex, okay, in which you have a cation and anion. In cation, there is a cobalt based complex, that is cobalt is coordinated with 6 ammonia, forms a cation, and chromium coordinated with 6 cyanide forms the anion. If you see here, the chromium is coordinated with 6 ammonia. If you see here, it is chromium is coordinated with 6 cyanide, and here it is coordinated with 6 ammonia and becomes the cation, and cobalt is coordinated with 6 cyanide and behaves as a anion. This is an example for coordination isomerism. Next, we will be discussing about the stereoisomerism or space isomerism. When two compounds have same ligands but its arrangement in space is different, is known as space isomerism or stereoisomerism. There are two forms. One is geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. Here, the complex will have same ligand, meaning same molecular formula, and bond connectivity is also same, but the relative position of the ligands around the central metal atom will be different. We will start seeing with the 4 coordinate complex. So that we know already that with the 4 coordination number we can have tetrahedral and square planar geometry. Tetrahedral complexes have 4 ligands which occupy adjacent position to one another, and all the 4 angles are same. Hence, it cannot exceed geometrical isomers. And in case of square planar, there won't be any stereoisomer or this geometrical isomer here in a Ma4 type, meaning that you have one metal and 4 ligands are similar. Similarly, there won't be any stereoisomers in Ma3b and MaB3 type. Here you have 3 A type ligand and 1 B type ligand. Here you have 1 A type and 3 B type ligands, because all possible arrangements of A and B for each of these types are exactly equivalent. We can see geometrical isomerism in Ma2B2 type. Here you have 2 A type and 2 B type, and it can show cis and trans form. Okay. Hence, we call this as a cis trans isomerism. We call geometrical isomerism also as cis trans isomerism. Here we will see different types of complexes having square planar geometry which can show geometrical isomers. Okay. So first, the complex having monodentate ligand. Okay. Ma2B2 type, Ma2BC type, MABCD type. Okay. So if you see here, you have a metal surrounded by 2 A type ligand and 2 B type ligand. Here you have 2 A type ligand and 1 B and C type ligand. Here all 4 ligands are different. Second, you can see geometrical isomerism in square planar complexes containing unsymmetrical bidentate chelating ligand. Here the ligand single ligand has a 2 sides through which it can form a coordination compound, a side A and B, and this compound is unsymmetrical in nature. Third, a square planar complexes containing symmetrical bidentate chelating ligand. Again you have 2 sides. This ligand is symmetrical in nature. Fourth, bridged binuclear planar complex, it is M2 A2 B4 type. Now we will discuss a few types that we have seen in the previous slide. Let's start with the Ma2B2 type. Here you have a central ion, that is M, surrounded by ligands, monodentate ligands A and B. Example, a platinum based complex, okay, having 2 ammonia and 2 chloride ligands. So we can arrange these ligands around platinum in a square planar geometry in a cis manner, the cis isomer, and as a trans isomer. Here you have ammonia adjacent to each other, whereas here in a trans manner. Another example is a palladium based complex, which can exhibit cis trans isomer. Next, Ma2BC type. Example, platinum based complex having 2 ammonia, 1 chloride and 1 nitrate ligand. Here I can place these ligands, okay, in a square planar geometry in this manner, where you have a ammonia in a cis position, so hence we named as cis isomer. Similarly in trans position, this is a trans isomer, okay. So this Ma2BC type can have cis trans isomer. Next, MABCD type. Here all the 4 ligands are different. So now assume that M is the metal and A, B, C, D are the different ligands. So let's say I have the metal and arrange the ligands A, B, C, D, okay, in a square planar geometry. If I arrange them, okay, in different orders, finally I will be ending up with these 3 different types of isomer. These 3 different isomeric forms. These are some of the examples, that is the complexes which can exhibit geometrical isomers and belongs to MABCD type. Next, square planar complex containing unsymmetrical bidentate chelating ligand. So we give a label AB. This is an unsymmetrical bidentate chelating ligand containing A and B sites to form a coordination bond. Example, a platinum based complex having glycine ion as a ligand, okay. Here in glycine ion, the coordination bond can form through nitrogen and oxygen, okay. So shown are the examples, okay. The platinum here, okay, coordinated through nitrogen and oxygen of the glycine ion. So that is why we say this is A side, let's say this is A side and B side, okay, AB. Similarly another glycine ion on this side, okay. So hence we say AB2 with one metal. You see this nitrogen, they are in cis position, okay, or the oxygen in cis position, hence this is a cis isomer. In this case, okay, you have nitrogen in the trans position or the oxygen in the trans position, hence we called as trans isomer. So we will see cis isomer and trans isomer in a MAB2 type. Next, square planar complex containing symmetrical bidentate chelating ligands, that is MAA2 type. So we will give a label AA for this symmetrical bidentate chelating ligand. So here is an example where you have a platinum based complex, okay, in which the platinum is got coordinated through the nitrogen of the ligands, okay. We see in this square planar you have 4 nitrogen, okay, and these nitrogens are bonded to the carbon of the ligand, okay, and further the 2 carbons are bonded to together. If you see the square planar, okay, you see this methyl and hydrogen of this carbon, okay, with respect to the square planar, it will be above the plane and this will be below the plane. Similarly here the methyl will be above the plane and hydrogen will be below the plane. Again the same thing with this carbon and this carbon. So overall if you see here, in all the carbon you have a methyl group which is above the plane, that is the square planar, okay, and hydrogen is below the plane. Hence here we label it as cis isomer. And in this case we see in these two carbons the hydrogen is above the plane and methyl is below the plane, whereas here methyl is above the plane and hydrogen is below the plane. Okay, so we call this as a trans isomer. So this cis trans isomer exhibit in the MAA2 type. So now we discussed about structural isomerism and geometrical isomerism. Next we will see about optical isomerism. Optical isomerism is another type of stereoisomerism in which the isomers have a opposite effect on a plane polarized light. So if we pass a plane polarized light, okay, through these isomers, it will rotate the plane polarized light in an opposite direction. Here is an example for optical isomerism. So here is a cobalt based complex having ethylene diamine as the ligand. So here we have a cobalt with 3 ethylene diamine. See in this octahedral geometry, okay, one ethylene diamine basically coordinated in the nitrogens are coordinated in the planar position, okay, and the remaining ethylene diamine, okay, one nitrogen will be coordinated through the axial position and one nitrogen through the planar position. Similarly the other one, okay. So I label it as isomer 1. If I take the mirror image of this isomer 1, I have a image which is similar to this one, okay. So I label it as isomer 2. So basically this isomer 1 is the mirror image of isomer 2, or isomer 2 is the mirror image of isomer 1, okay, and they are non superimposable, hence they are optically active and we named it as optical isomers. Another example, here we have a cobalt complex in which we have 2 ethylene diamine and 2 chloride, okay. Let us take this structure where I have a cobalt and the planar positions are occupied by the 2 ethylene diamine and the axial positions are occupied by the chloride. If I take the mirror image of this compound, I will have this one which is basically superimposable on this one, or we say both are identical, and hence this is not optically active and it is not an optical isomer. Suppose if I have the ethylene diamine, okay, in which one of the ethylene diamine, okay, it coordinates with the cobalt, okay, by occupying the planar side, the 2 nitrogen in the planar side, and the remaining ethylene diamine, okay, one nitrogen occupies the axial position, the other one in the planar position. Similarly the chloride, the 2 chloride, one at the axial position, the other one at the planar position. So let us say I label it isomer 1. If I take the mirror image, okay, it looks different, so I label it as isomer 2. If you see the isomer 1 and isomer 2, they are non superimposable, okay, hence they are optical isomers. Finally, thank you all for your attention. As well, I would like to acknowledge the textbook articles and other resources that I used to prepare this presentation. Thank you all.